Okay, magandang umaga. Good morning. Okay, dito sa programa natin, Serbisyo Publiko, Tinig ng Mamamayan. Ang orasan natin, alas 7:17 na, 16 po ng Mayo 2020 mga kababayan, no? Okay, unang tunghayan natin ang balita ito sa ating programa Pambungad mga kababayan, no? Okay, dito po sa vlog natin, vlogcaster mga kababayan, no? Okay, balikan natin itong problema po ng local na stranded individuals. Okay, sabi rito sa report, umabot po ng 120 LSI mula sa amin, Western Mindanao, Island Provinces ng BARM nagpositibo sa COVID-19. Ayan. Okay, basahin natin ang balita. Abot ng sa 100 katao ang nagpositibo sa coronavirus disease mula sa 405 na locally stranded individuals. Okay, na sa mga taga-isla ng Basilan, Sulu at Tawi-Tawi mga kabayan, no? Ayan, sa Basulta. Okay, Basulta. Okay, sinasabing may mga bata, may edad na, may iniinda na karamdaman tulad ng high blood at diabetes. Ang kabilang sa mga nagpositibo sa COVID-19 ayon sa pakay Dr. Julkanay Nabas, Deputy Minister ng MOH, BARM sa Panayam dito sa local region ng Cotabato City. Okay, kaugnay nito, bagaman, nagpositibo na sa COVID-19. Okay, karamihan sa mga ito ay asymptomatic. Nasa isolation center ngayon ng BARM, Sultan Kudarat, ang maraming bilang ng mga nagpositibo, habang ang iba ay naka-isolate sa ibang site, dagdag pa ni Dr. Abbas. Okay, wala namang dapat ika-alarma ang publiko dahil ginagawa naman ang lahat ng BARM government sa panguna ng MOH, katuwang ang Ministry of Social Service and Development, kasama pang IPHO ng Maguindanao upang maisiguro ang kaligtasan ng mga pasyente at mga negatibong LSI. Gift pa ni Dr. Abbas mga kabayan, na ayan. Okay, nakatakdang namang ilipat pala. Nakatakdang naman ilipat sa isang malaking facility, particular sa isang housing project sa bahagi ng Parang, at mga LSI ay nagnegatibo sa karamdaman. Samantala, bukod pa sa mga LSI, nakatakda na ring swab test ang mga frontliner na umasikaso sa mga ito, dagdag pa ni Dr. Abbas. Okay, yan po ang pangunahing balita natin sa umagang ito mga kabayan, ha? Okay, ayan. Ang sunod na balita ay dagdag pa ni PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa ay di ang bagong talagang contract tracing Cesar na si Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong ang nagsasagawa ng contact tracing, okay, sa mga suspect at probable COVID-19 case gamit ang mga pulis. Ang purpose na kasi nito para naghanap ng kriminal at kung nakahanap po ng na yung kriminal, hahanapin mo kasi yung mga kakutsaba niya, and this is the skill of the investigator of the PNP kasi sanay sila ganun mga sunod. General Archie Gamboa mga kabayan na. Ayan, yan po ang mga balita po nakuha natin mga kabayan na. Ayan. Okay, sir, the balita natin, huge protests rock several countries as the coronavirus ignite rage against the government. Okay, major protests are breaking out against government in several countries as the coronavirus sparked fury over grievance including economic problem and alleged corruption or incompetence. Okay, demonstrators have taken to the street to voice their anger at the perceived failure by leaders to rise to the unprecedented challenges heightened by the pandemic. In Israel, rising public discontent coincides with the record numbers of the new coronavirus cases. Monday figure top 1,600 for the day. The current count is 42,813 confirmed cases and 375 deaths. For many, it's underlined the sense that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had badly slipped up after appearing to have the virus firmly under control just 2 months ago. Thousands of protesters rallied in Tel Aviv on Saturday with 1,000 more protesting outside the Netanyahu official residence in Jerusalem on Tuesday. Okay, referring to Netanyahu's ongoing trial on bribery and breach of the trust charges changes. The Prime Minister denies. Okay, protesters heard sign that read, "We are saving democracy. We are fighting corruption and no to dictatorship under cover of corona." Under cover of corona, no? Some block a tram line in Jerusalem man shopping district and damaged property according to police. Video shows protesters attempting to break through the metal barrier of the street outside the Prime Minister's residence. Police say they made 50 arrests throughout the evening. Tuesday protest was led by the anti-corruption Black Flag movement. That demonstration also focused on the Israel deteriorating economic situation brought on by the pandemic. The country's unemployment rate hit 25% this week, and the recent survey have shown public trust in the government handling of the health crisis plummeting. A Black Flag spokesperson told CNN that Netanyahu should be resigned and make way for someone who could solve the country's problem rather than focus on defending himself. The court, Roe Newman, also disputed claim that the protest had a violent edge to it, describing it instead as a stormy. We are taking about the frustration of the people, he said. Ayan. In other news, protests over curfew in Serbia. Protests erupted in violence in the Serbian capital of Belgrade last week during demonstration sparked by the government plan to impose curfew to try to curb the dramatic surge in coronavirus cases. Authorities dropped the plan after two nights of rioting instead of imposing a ban on indoor or outdoor gathering of more than 10 people and closing all the hospitality and retail venues between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. But protests continued in Belgrade and other cities, with the rallies evolving into a wider division over the rule of Serbia's Prime Minister Aleksandar Vučić. Okay, protester alleged he lifted the lockdown too soon so he could hold parliamentary election in June. Okay, the first in Europe during the pandemic and following large gathering, bars and nightclubs to work at a full capacity. They say he then tried to reimpose it after the vote as the number of infections escalated. The ruling party won by the landslide and most of the opposition boycotted the election. Vučić was repeatedly denied those accusations on Friday, blaming his political opponent for orchestrating protests. He previously said extremists and foreign agencies caused the unrest. The anti-government protest erupted into violence on Friday, with one protester stabbed with the leg in front of the Serbian parliament. The Minister of Interior and local police were pelted with battles and flares, and eventual response with the round of tear gas. The Minister of Interior said at least 118 people officers were injured. Serbia suffered its highest daily death toll on Friday. Prime Minister Ana Brnabić called it the worst day since the beginning of the pandemic, with 386 new infections and 18 deaths on May 6, when Serbia revoked the state of emergency and lifted most restrictions. There were 3 deaths and 48 new cases according to the Minister of Health. Okay, she said the protesters during the pandemic were irresponsible and did not rule out imposing a curfew if the situation deteriorates further. Serbia must have heard Silatibor Lonkar said the hospitals were absolutely overloaded with a patient from Belgrade being diverted to hospital in cities up to 50 miles away. During the Thursday, largely peaceful sit-in by the parliament, some protesters heard signs saying, "Sit down." Several told CNN affiliate NI. This was an attempt to distance themselves from what they called a provocateur. Okay, provocateur because the riot during the rallies on Tuesday and Wednesday. Amnesty International on Thursday warned against the disproportionate use of force against entire demonstration after video emerged of police beating 3 men who were sitting on a bench. Ayan po mga kababayan na. Okay. Ayan. Social unrest. Balikan natin ang balita mga bayan. Ang orasan na natin. Okay. Alas 3:33 na po mga kababayan. Okay. Alas 7:33 na po mga kababayan, no? Sorry po. Alas 7:34 na. Okay, social unrest, protest linked to the virus have emerged in other countries too. In Lebanon, hunger protests started in May, just as the country was loosening its lockdown and beginning to contend with a poor living condition exacerbated by the near shutdown of economy. Nightly confrontation between the demonstrators and the Lebanese army rocked Tripoli, turning it into the epicenter of the country's renewed uprising against the political elite. But as the economic crisis has worsened, the flurry of a small demonstration that continue around the country are receiving less attention. A string of suicide dominates conversation. Okay, in Bulgaria, anti-government protests have flared up against the coronavirus cases continue to rise. Okay, Dimitar Betchev, a research fellow at the Center for Slavic Eurasia and his European Studies at the University of North Carolina told CNN, COVID probably is at play very marginally in the sense that the people were stuck at home and now they can go out. But he said that the real reason were around ongoing allegation of corruption among the political leader. A report from the Institute for Economic and Peace entitled COVID-19 and Peace Read the Pandemic will undo many years of a socio-economic development where several countries exacerbating humanitarian crisis and potentially aggravating unrest and conflict. The IEP said the most of the indicator of the Global Peace Index, DPI, and Positive Peace Index, PPI, which measure the attitude, institution, and structure that they create and sustain peaceful society, were likely to be negative negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The prospect of social and political unrest appear to be spreading along with the virus. Okay. Ayan po, mga sukibabayan, wrote to the expert for non-profit public policy organization of Brooklyn Institution in June. Already protests are cropping up in Lebanon, Iraq, India, Peru, and the United States. In many cases, building on a prior unrest. Ayan po ang balita natin sa umaga. Ito pang bungad ng balita. Okay po, mga suki, mga bayan, dito sa programa. Okay. Ang programa sa serbisyo publiko at tinig ng mamamayan. This has been ABSDAMAHAN po, mga suki, no? Okay, balik tayo mamaya-maya.